What's up, 180 Day 21. Believe it is possible. And then, how do you actually change a belief? Belief is where it all begins, really. With belief comes a sense of certainty. You unconsciously believe in your aptitude for success. For example, we can all agree that the sun will absolutely rise tomorrow. We can all agree that gravity will keep us rooted to the ground and that there will be enough oxygen to go around. These are things that we don't actively think about because it's our expectation. Your belief, your expectation should be that you can lose weight. You need a mindset of self-belief. Where does your belief level sit on a scale of 1 to 10? If it's anything less than an 8, now it's time to work on your belief. Do a bit of research if you want to, or keep listening to this one and find some inspiration for people to use as a role model. I'm going to give you some tools though today. Think about how you will look, how you will feel, and what it will mean when you have finally achieved your goal weight. If we haven't met before, we can dive into this. My name is Jen Plekin, your holistic empowerment coach, taking you from a place of stuck to authentic thriving. And let's dig in. So, changing belief systems to promote wellness. What are belief systems and how and why should we change them? We're going to dig in deep. Core beliefs as children, okay? We develop a view of the world and our place in it according to our experience. We develop what's known as these core beliefs that are based on our interpretation of events and experiences. Depending on whether we experience and interpret an event as positive or negative, will ultimately influence the core beliefs that we develop. Core beliefs are fundamental and honestly deep-seated beliefs about ourselves that influence how we act and respond in the world and how we perceive others even and their response to us. Very often we develop some very negative core beliefs about ourselves. An almost universal belief is one of unworthiness. I'm not good enough. In some way, this is the mantra of our subconscious that tells us over and over, although we may not even be, cognitively aware of it, sometimes core beliefs may develop out of trauma. For instance, for me, you can experience anxiety around it. I used to be even around dating without even really understanding why. But once I dug in deep, I could uncover some hidden memories of, from abuse that I had buried. And sometimes we even forget about these because they're so buried. By changing our core belief, that would sometimes cause us to run along the sidelines that, all men can't be trusted, as in my case, I can reprogram my subconscious mind with this, and I'm able to replace that with that old negative belief with a newer, healthier belief, such as I can trust myself to keep myself safe. Often a core belief can develop out of something, seemingly insignificant even. For instance, a man might have a fear of public speaking, okay? Because as a young boy, most of these develop from young, you guys, his playmates laughed at him for something he said one day during recess. That one experience, you guys, he felt ashamed and humiliated and developed the belief that if he kept quiet, he would avoid similar shaming. This can go back to our being called fat when we were young. Hence, in this case, his anxiety rose at the thought of speaking in public. So how do we identify these negative core beliefs? And what do we do to change them to a newer, more positive belief. The first thing we can do is keep a thought journal. And I love thought journals. Keep it for a week or two and notice what your reoccurring thoughts are. Do you notice some negative thinking happening? What are the thoughts that keep reoccurring? See if you have any positive. Because if you have positive, that means you're one of the very rare breeds indeed. So most of us harbor thoughts which are angry, impatient, self-critical. So no self-judgment on the thought contents, okay? Choose one of those negative thoughts which you would like to transform. Is this belief absolutely true? Can you find evidence in your life which shows that this belief is not entirely true? For example, say your belief is, I can't do anything right. You tell yourself this self-harming thought often. Yet only last week you scored 100% on that test at school for your kid, or that evaluation. You did that right. Therefore, that belief is not absolutely true. Next, ask yourself, what positive reason is there to hold on to this self-harming belief, which is not absolutely true? Usually, you will not be able to find a positive reason. If you do, you will need to discuss this with a trained therapist, honestly. Because if there is no positive reason to hold on to the thought, ask yourself, am I willing to let go of this? We have to be willing. Am I willing to let go of this thought now? If the answer is yes, then consider a new thought. We can't just replace, okay? That is empowering and more uplifting than the old beliefs. You have to replace it. In the example given here, okay, that I just did, the new thought might be, I can do things right. Once the new thought is installed in a way, you may notice the pattern of your life changes. Of course, for the better. In the long term, when you have worked through with a number of core beliefs, right, because do one at a time, you may find you have improved your self-esteem, a happier mood, and an outlook, and therefore are developing, a positive spiral of positive emotions, which has a cumulative, right, positive effect on your overall state of mind. And why is this key? Because we know that emotional eating is huge, right? And so we run to emotional eating because of some core belief where we beat ourselves up. I want to also dive into a 7-step formula that I use with clients to banishing and limiting beliefs. So I want to break down those 7 steps. It's similar to above, but I want to really break it down. So this is worth listening to, because this is what I use. If I was to be coaching you, this is what I use, and I have my law of God in front of me, so I make sure I don't forget anything. So, number 1, ask yourself, is the belief true? Okay, similar to above. Read the belief out loud and ask, do I know this is true? Answering no to yourself might seem silly, but simply stating that belief is not true gives you permission subconsciously to continue and examine the belief more objectively. Sorry. Number 2, determine the source of the belief. This is key. How did I get this belief? Where did it come from? Sometimes we believe things with a lot of certainty. When we really think about it, we're not really sure why we believe it. If you're going to base your decisions around a belief, that belief should either come from an expert or a lot of experience. So an expert should be someone that, started where you are and then arrived at where you want to achieve, okay? Number 3, your declaration. Declare to yourself, I don't believe this anymore, and it's not true. Okay? I know it seems silly, but trust me. Now look for proof to show you that's not true, because unless we prove it to ourselves, like I stated above, we're going to continue to believe it. We have to prove it. Our minds want to have evidence in a way. Okay? And once you do that, Number 4, imagine being free from the belief. What would your life be without this belief? How would you change? How would your life change? Okay, and like write it down, imagine it. It's powerful. The visualization, I know it gets a little bad rap sometimes because, woo, right? But it's not. It's legit and it works. Number 5, replace the belief. Okay, so we mentioned that, but notice there's just a few more steps in here. Find another belief that contradicts the old belief. Getting rid of the limiting belief is good, but limiting and replacing it with something positive is the way to true and lasting results. Just like if we have a bad habit, right? If we have a habit we want to replace, the way to replace the bad habit isn't by removing that bad habit because we're focusing on. We're still focusing on the wrong thing, right? Thing we don't want. We need to replace with something good, okay? And then we're focusing on something else. Same thing with a belief. We can't just try to throw away that belief without putting something in its place. Number 6, find evidence for the new belief, okay? So, find evidence that the new belief is valid and keep finding evidence until you feel comfortable with the new belief. So, sometimes you have to, do some research, find some things. Watch my videos because I have tons of, evidence that a new belief is legit because of my experience in my life. But find that there's evidence, okay? And I even say, write out whatever your new belief is. Write it out and put it in front of you. So put it around you. That way when you start thinking, because that old belief is going to want to come and scream at you, and we need to learn to recognize and stop it and start saying the new belief. Okay, we have to replace it. We can't just, they say, you just can't throw it away. That's, people say, just stop believing that. No, I mean, even, meditation and stuff is great, but I wouldn't say even here meditation is the best way to do it. You need to combat it, okay? It's a battle. That battle of the mind is real. So, belief that I want to have comes, and I bombard it with the new belief. And I keep saying it, screaming it out loud until I believe it. And it's not foolish, not hopeful thinking. It's legit because you have evidence, okay? And then test yourself. Test yourself throughout. How long... the truth is that once that old belief starts coming and you automatically, without thinking about, replace it with a new one, that's when you've succeeded, okay? And it might take some time. So don't be hard on yourself here. Give yourself grace because you're learning something new. It's just like the first time you went to learn to ride a bike, right? Did you do it right the first time? No, it takes some time. But is it worth it? Are you happy you learned to ride a bike? Okay? So know that giving yourself grace and time here is so key. And once you do that, you'll know so much more freedom. And you might be like, Jen, I have 50,000 beliefs that I need to replace. Sometimes, if you find the really big ones, the key ones, the other ones untangle themselves, if that makes sense. So if I can find my really biggest beliefs, a lot of little beliefs get attached to the main ones. And a lot of those will start entangling as you find those really true, those big beliefs that you're believing. And so just know there's hope. Don't give up. I'm proud of you for listening. Proud of you for doing this because this is not easy work. Things I'm asking you guys in these videos and stuff is not easy. You might have thought it was easy because it was an exercise or a dieting. But unless we undo all this, there's no point in trying the other because the other's going to unravel because our mind is not in the right place. All right. Dig in. You've got this. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Post and let me know. Did you do it? What did you think? How are you doing? It's day 21. How are you doing on the journey? Let me know how you are along the way. Just a few more days. We've got this. Be brave, be kind, live authentically, and always shine. Reach out to me anytime on any of the platforms or, of course, in the show notes. There's plenty of ways to get in touch with me. Remember, you're only one habit away. Maybe the habit is replacing the old beliefs. Until next time.